Hey everybody, and welcome to 2021. Today I'm going to show you a video of how I make a visor out of a 12-pack White Claw box. Alright, so first of all you're going to start off with a White Claw box, preferably with the logo centered in the middle like this. If this is off to the side, your hat's not going to line up directly in the middle. So that's why I like these particular ones, because it says White Claw right there in the middle. I like to use some sort of template from a hat. I got one that I have a visor that I took a template from. I have a clear one so that way I can kind of see through and line everything up. But a piece of cardboard or your favorite hat will work just fine for a template. Once the box is taken apart, you want to kind of preserve as much of these tabs on the end as you can. We're basically going to be using this for the bill, and we're going to be using the other side for the band that would go around your head. So I'll take, you'll need a pair of scissors. I use a flat blade to get some of this glue off of the inside. I've got a straight edge ruler. I have a smaller straight edge ruler with no markings on it because I've used it so much, so therefore I'm required to use also a wooden ruler. And I have this roller that I got about 10 years ago. I think I need to get a new one. They're only like $3. And I have a little pair of scissors that I use to cut the threads after I sew, a pencil or a pen, and I've got this broken pick that I use to score the folds on the hat. A ballpoint pen will work fine. I typically like to use this. And you'll need a hot glue gun and maybe even a cold beer. So the first step we're going to do is take a razor blade, cut this line here. This is what I'm going to use for the underside of, what am I doing, template? Yeah, so if I were to cut my template like this, you wouldn't want to look at just cardboard on the bottom. So I usually take this and use some Super 77 spray, put those together, trace this out, and by having two pieces like this, it adds some stability and durability to the brim of the hat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this straight edge and cut all of those words off of the top, right on the bottom of all those words. And you can scrap that. Now, I don't know if you can tell or not, but right here is a little black mark from the G of grams. I'm going to use that as the middle of the hat. I'm going to do the exact same to this one. So now basically, if you have a crappy box, you want to determine which one is the cleanest one. These are both pretty much exactly the same. We're not going to use either one of these tabs. Just gonna go ahead and make a clean cut and get rid of that trash. Now that these are both exactly identically the same, I'm going to line this little black mark up right here in the middle and make everything squared up like that. And this is just a piece of Lexan, just a piece of see-through plastic. I drew a straight line through it. This is a piece of plastic I got from Hobby Lobby, and the dimensions for my brim are 7.5 inches wide, and it is I want to say, let's see, I can tell you right here. Five and a quarter. So you got 5 1/4 tall, 5 1/4, and it is 7.5 inches wide. And from here to here is 2 1/8 of an inch. 2 1/8 of an inch. Now, this is going to be the top, this is going to be the bottom. I'll spray those together later when I do the other part. So now my objective is to come up with 26 inches for the band of the hat. Half of 26 is 13, so I can center it just like that. Now my objective is to find some of these tabs that I cut off on the side so that I can actually come up with the length that I'll need. And so what I'll have to do is cut it straight across here and make perfect 90-degree angles so that when I match these up, everything will jive like it's supposed to. So yeah, I think I'll go with that. So this is going to be the top portion of the hat. And I want to flip these pieces over and clean off this glue residue. Alright, so now the next thing that we're going to do is take some Scotch tape, some clear Scotch tape, and we're going to mend these two pieces together. I have in the past actually overlapped the two together and glued them together, but I have better results by doing it like this. So this is my new way of doing it. So now that we have all that put together, we'll take this and flip it over, and we're gonna go back over these seams with another round of tape. Now the next step is to find that black G from the grams there. Mark on the inside. If you have one of these cutting mats that has the grid, it makes this super easy to do this part right here. So now you remember that this template was 7.5 inches wide. I'm going to remark that I'm going to take the middle, 3 3/4. Measure down 1 inch. Down 1 inch there. Connect this line to this line. Now you take your razor and cut these 2 lines straight down. Alright, so now I'm gonna go get my Super 77, put these 2 together, put some Super 77 on this side and that side right there. I'll be right back. Take your middle tab, fold it directly down, work your way to the outside from the middle. Go back over with your roller. Now you notice we have a couple open areas right here. We'll take care of that in just a second. What I want to do right now flip these over. This is going to be the bottom. This is going to be the top. While the adhesive is still a little moist, I'll take it and roll it on the edge of the counter here. Let that sit for a second. Come back to this. Cut off the excess material. Then you can actually use these scraps and paste it in there. Now, from that little black dot right there in the middle, which was 3 3/4 of an inch, remark the 0, so I'm marking here, and 7 1/2. So see, I have a mark here, I have a mark here. I'm going to cut directly straight down. But I'm not going to cut all the way through. I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. Now, this is the front side. Flip it over on the back side. Take your band and make it make it flat down here on the bottom. But what my objective here is to take this bottom corner and bring it up to 2 1/2 inches. What that does is that gives you some raw cardboard to glue onto. So now you have a band that has a kickback on it. Take and cut these extra tabs off the side. Now we can go back and work on this. All you do is follow your trace marks from earlier. Now, I'm not cutting directly on that line. I'm cutting about 3/4 of an inch above that line, because this is going to form a tab that I'll actually use to glue it to the band. So what I want to do first, before I cut those, is this material is very slick and it's hard for the glue to adhere to it. So I like to have a bare cardboard mating surface. So I'll take maybe just a 1/16 of an inch above that line and very lightly score it. All you're trying to do is penetrate just the top layer. Very lightly. So it's just a little thin strip. You peel that off the top, then make some relief cuts. This is a good time to double check your fitment and your alignment. Everything should line up perfectly right there in the middle. And from, I would say, here to here, I want to do the same process I did on that. All right, now it's time for the fun part. Okay, so now that the stitching is done on this and on the brim, they both need to go together. But first, it's a good idea to roll this band over the edge and be careful of the areas that you glued. Hold on to them like this. So that's basically it. All you need to do is add maybe a felt strip on the inside, a piece of Velcro here, a piece of Velcro here to tie the two together. And then you'll have a perfect White Claw hat. So that is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope I was able to help you guys out, kind of see how to make a visor out of a traditional box rather than a 6-pack box, which I would typically use. And maybe drop me a line in the comment section below and give me some tips or some suggestions of things that you would like to see me do in the future. Anyway, till then, bye.